what is going on here? Isn't Bitcoin supposed to be digital gold? If it's digital gold, why isn't it behaving like gold?
Cathie Wood just asked a question that has completely taken over X. If Bitcoin is digital gold, why isn't it behaving like gold right now? While gold has been on a historic run, surging roughly 65% in 2025 and climbing on massive safe haven demand, Bitcoin has struggled through volatility, even dropping toward the $60,000 range before bouncing back above $70,000. So what's really going on here? According to Cathie Wood, ARK Invest founder and CIO, this isn't a failure of Bitcoin. It's a reflection of how investors are positioning in today's macro environment. Cathie Wood highlights three key catalysts: rising geopolitical tensions pushing capital into traditional safe havens like gold, a rotation out of risk assets during uncertainty, and technological disruption, including fears around quantum computing. Even though Bitcoin's network remains one of the most secure decentralized systems ever built. But here's where things get interesting. Wood believes Bitcoin is climbing a wall of worry. In other words, investors are using gold as a risk-off hedge, while Bitcoin is still being treated as a risk-on growth asset, at least for now. She also suggests the recent sell-off may simply be a natural market cycle. Early Bitcoin holders who accumulated positions 10 to 15 years ago are gradually taking profits, creating what looks like a bear market, but may actually be a healthy transfer of coins from old hands to new institutional investors. And here's another angle. Gold's rally may be signaling deeper geopolitical uncertainty. Central banks and global investors continue to accumulate physical gold as a hedge against macro risk, raising the question, do some players see economic stress ahead that retail investors haven't fully priced in yet? Despite the short-term divergence, Wood remains extremely bullish on Bitcoin long-term, arguing that its fixed supply and growing institutional adoption could eventually make it outperform gold once market sentiment shifts back toward innovation and growth. Now, before we dive deeper into Cathie Wood's latest insights and clips, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who needs to see this, and subscribe for daily Bitcoin and crypto updates, because what she says next might completely change how you view this market cycle.
I cannot tell you how many bear stories I've heard about Bitcoin in the last few weeks, last few months. And just go on to X and you'll find all kinds of reasons why you must sell Bitcoin. And these are the periods that are kind of interesting. We post our trading at the end of every day, and you'll see that we had been nibbling at our crypto exposed stocks. We didn't know how far this was going to go, and maybe it's not over. Not promising that, but there was so much negative sentiment that I felt, okay, we need to leg in and lean into this. If our research is correct, that this Bitcoin is 3 revolutions in one. It's a global, digital, private, very important, rules-based, even more important, monetary system. And that's a very big idea. The second revolution is a technology. It's a new technology. It's really adding another layer, I would say, to the internet, so that we have native currencies native to the internet that will be able to handle agentic commerce and other such agentic movements taking place out there. That's a very big idea. And then, and it won't be, of course, just Bitcoin. It'll be Ether, importantly Ether, Solana, maybe Hyperliquid. We shall see. But what's interesting about this period is the big 3 have been identified. And those are Bitcoin, Ether, and Solana. The worry historically has been, How many of these things are there going to be? Is this going to be a very fragmented situation? And we're learning we're learning who the big winners are going to be, who the big winners are. And I think that's very important. And then the third revolution is this is a new asset class. Bitcoin is leading the way. It is the most secure of all the cryptocurrencies out there, backed by the largest computer network in the world. And so really an anchor to an asset allocator looking to move into this new world. And why would an asset allocator do that? Well, if we're right, and well, it's a fact that at least over the last 5 years, the correlations have been the correlation has been as low as 0.14. The key to successful diversification for asset allocators is adding new assets with very low correlation to all of the other assets in the ecosystem. And this one qualifies. Why do they want that? It is because with that low correlation, introducing it, risk-adjusted returns go up over time. And so I do think institutions are serious about this new asset class. They may have been reticent to move in because they were hearing about the four-year cycle, and lo and behold, and I'll hats off to Chris Berniski, who has been very right in calling for, whether it's the four-year cycle or whatever, just this downdraft. And so it's closing in on the low point that many technical analysts are suggesting as the place where it should stop. These are very volatile moments at or near the bottom, but we usually do look back and say, wow, I wish I had caught that low. This V-shaped recovery has been quite significant. So what has been the biggest bugaboo as it relates to Bitcoin, or the worry that we've heard about more than anything else in the last few weeks? Because it's all about quantum computing. The last few weeks have been, lots of stories about quantum computing, and I would say the large shift in Bitcoin, the OGs selling, or just shifting wallets to more quantum-resistant wallets. So I think that's really caused a lot of concern. And here's Michael Saylor's answer, he was very reasonable last night in his discussion around quantum. He doesn't think it's going to be an issue for 10 years or more, but he said, here's what we're doing in terms of our commitment to Bitcoin security. And so you can see some of those moves now. But I also wanted to show our research. Again, this is out of Big Ideas. And this is when the quantum controversy had quieted down last year as it relates to Bitcoin. So Brett Winton, as chief futurist, has a big focus on quantum because we can't miss the next big thing. It's all we do is disruptive innovation. And here I thought was a compelling analysis based on what has happened with quantum computing so far. And Google really leading the charge, that little black line on that chart. So you can see that it has been able to double the number of qubits over 4 years, which is slower than Moore's law in the semiconductor space. And of course, there is an error rate consideration, lowering that as well over 4 years. So if Google does not pick up speed, the red line tells you how long it will take Google to and quantum computing to really threaten Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain as we know it now. So we go into the 2060s there. Now, if you make the assumption that Google is going to pick up the pace, and that's an interesting assumption because typically we learn a lot in the early years of a new technology. You know, how quickly are the units increasing and driving costs down? That's the learning curve associated with new technologies. But let's assume it does pick up the pace, doubles the pace to Moore's law. Okay, then we have a problem in the mid-40s. So I don't want to make light of it. I do think it has caused movement among Bitcoin between wallets, between and among wallets. Are they leaving the crypto ecosystem? Some say yes. Maybe they're diversifying into other crypto assets as the DeFi ecosystem evolves here. I don't know how likely that is because these are Bitcoin OGs. They've been there forever. So we'll see. Maybe they're diversifying because they were hodlers. And now they're 10, 15 years older and they have families and, you know, their risk profiles have gone down. They should diversify. Any financial advisor would say so.
That's Cathie Wood's perspective and how this could all unfold next. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think quantum computing is a real threat to the Bitcoin ecosystem or just hype? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's start the conversation. If this video gave you value or a fresh perspective, make sure you like it and share it with someone who needs to see this. And don't forget to subscribe. We post daily Bitcoin and crypto updates to keep you ahead of the market. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.